Hello everyone, my name is Jesse Lopez and I will be presenting my project on the learning disability of dyspraxia. Characteristics of dyspraxia include clumsiness, coordination, and processing/cognitive skill issues. Dyspraxia is a neurological disorder that impacts individuals' ability to think and process tasks with proper cognitive skills. Dyspraxia can often have an effect on a student's ability to learn language and speak clearly, struggling with the ability to communicate effectively with peers, mentors, etc. While dyspraxia can be a learning curve for those who have it, it by no means infers that a person's intelligence is lower than others. People with dyspraxia are still very intelligent and have the same capabilities to exercise their intelligence. They just need strategic planning and methods that accommodate and help them to learn in ways that best suit them. Defining factors of dyspraxia include poor balance, posture, fatigue, clumsiness, differences in speech, perception problems, and poor hand-eye coordination. A child that does not struggle with dyspraxia usually doesn't have problems or struggles in these areas of cognitive and physical motor skills. I included a photo here of Daniel Radcliffe because he is an actor who is very successful and has lots of film industry success, and he has been diagnosed and has dyspraxia. Furthermore, assessments of dyspraxia can include both gross motor skills and fine motor skills. Gross motor skills are the use of large muscles to coordinate the body and participate in movements that include jumping, running, throwing, and are used primarily in sports activities. Fine motor skills include such movements that are smaller and incorporate smaller muscles, such as tying shoelaces, buttoning shirts, writing, and playing instruments such as the piano. Other signs and early tells of dyspraxia could include fidgeting more than fellow peers and problems with using scissors, coloring, drawing, etc. A history of dyspraxia can go all the way back to the 1900s, in which it has had many different terms to diagnose people with dyspraxia. Some of those terms include calling it a motor weakness. Dyspraxia also went by the name of clumsy child syndrome, but between 1987 and 1989, that term was no longer used, and we came up with the term dyspraxia. And since then, we have stuck with that, and that is how we diagnose and treat children and adolescents with dyspraxia. The prevalency of dyspraxia is more common in boys than in girls. The National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, also known as NINDS, describes people with dyspraxia as being out of sync with their environment. According to experts, 4 out of every 5 children diagnosed with dyspraxia are boys. Furthermore, experts also say that about 10% of people have some level of dyspraxia, while approximately 2% of that 10 have dyspraxia at a very severe level. Strategies for inclusive practices for dyspraxia include some common and easily accessible accommodations. One way to do this is by adapting the writing utensils and paper for students with dyspraxia, which can be done by providing rubber grippers on pencils or not using ballpoint ink pens, which can smear and cause distraction for that student. Furthermore, touch typing for handwriting can be an easier way of facilitating writing and allow the student to focus. Moreover, adjusting seating plans can be beneficial to help the student focus in the classroom and keep them away from any distractions. And also giving breaks in between the class schedule is another great way for the student to rekindle, refocus, and recover from exercising their cognitive skills. Furthermore, assistive technology such as tablets can also be a great way of helping students with dyspraxia because it allows for accommodation in the areas of handwriting and keeping the child focused on the task, while also allowing teachers to collect data through the tablet to see the student's overall progress. Here are some resources that I found for teachers. This includes 2 websites, and one of them goes over very basic and controllable factors, which I find very useful because these are methods that you can use in the classroom today. I found the first one, and it goes over things such as moving seating arrangements, providing allotted time for students diagnosed with dyspraxia, giving them a small rest period here and there. Again, pencil and pen accommodations, paper accommodations, small things like that. The second website that I found, Dyspraxia Foundation USA, is a organization website which just goes over how to identify dyspraxia in youth and adults, and provides testimonies and treatment of people with dyspraxia. I believe that as a teacher, one important part of helping students with dyspraxia is understanding how they think and what they struggle with and their perspective on the entire situation, because at the end of the day it's them going through it, and we can't understand their learning disability as best that they can, so we have to empathize and be patient and understanding. The last website is a resource for parents. The first website is just one way that parents can give advice and help their child who is in preschool, primary school, and becoming a teenager while dealing with dyspraxia. It's important for the parent to know where and how their student struggles and in what areas, so that they can further help their child adapt and learn which methods work best for them. The second website is called Helping Hands Children's Therapy Services, and is another website that provides characteristics of dyspraxia as well as treatment for dyspraxia and methods to help students learn, such as repetition, accommodations, limiting distracting factors, and providing that environment and atmosphere that is conducive for a child's success. That concludes my overall presentation of dyspraxia. I want to thank you guys for your time and for listening to my overall presentation. Take care.